Okay, so we can close this file and we'll move on to the next topic. You use File, Open, and we'll choose the AutoSum tricks. Now, I can hear what you're saying. You're saying, AutoSum, that shouldn't be in Advanced Excel, but bear with me and I'll bet you'll learn a few things. Now, Excel includes the AutoSum icon twice. It's once on the Home ribbon out on the right-hand side, and it's also on the Formulas ribbon as a great big huge icon. Let's use that one for now. To use the AutoSum button, you select one cell immediately below a column of numbers and hit the AutoSum button. So I select cell B14 and hit AutoSum, and Excel proposes a formula, sum B2 to B13. If that's the right formula, I choose Enter or Control Enter to accept the formula. AutoSum works with a column of numbers. It also works going across the rows. So if I go to cell F2, select the cell and hit the AutoSum button, Excel will figure out that I'm trying to sum those columns. Now, an interesting thing here is that AutoSum works in cell F2. It also works in cell F3. However, now in cell F4, we have a quandary. Excel doesn't know if I want to total the 4 cells immediately to the left or the 2 cells immediately above. Excel is so fond of totaling down that when I hit the AutoSum button here, it does the wrong thing. It totals the 2 numbers above. When that happens, when Excel proposes the wrong range, you need to take the mouse and highlight the correct range. And choose Enter. You're good to go. Well, that's the way that most people know how to use AutoSum. I need to talk about a few gotchas, things that you have to watch out for. If we scroll down so we can see the next data set. In this case, instead of quarters, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, I have years, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007. Well, to Excel, those numeric years look just like the numeric data, for example, in cell B19. If I select cell B31 and hit the AutoSum button, I can either use the AutoSum button or the shortcut key, which is Alt equals. Now Excel proposes a formula that's completely wrong. It's proposing a formula that includes the year heading. This would be a big problem if you're not paying attention and you just accept the AutoSum, so you should be aware of when Excel is not going to get the AutoSum right and correct it using the mouse. In this case, I'm going to select from B19 down to B30. Good enough. Let's scroll down again. I'm going to show you a great trick where we can enter all of our AutoSum formulas at once. Rather than selecting a single cell, I'm going to select all 4 cells underneath my total area. Hit the AutoSum button, and instead of proposing a formula, Excel automatically enters all 4 AutoSums for me. Now you'll notice here that I have Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 as headings instead of numbers, so I knew that it was going to work. Pretty amazing, isn't it? Let me show you something even more amazing. I'm going to hit Control-Z to undo. I have no clue who was brave enough to try this the first time, or why they even thought it would work, but watch this trick. I'm going to select all of my numeric cells, plus 1 extra column, plus 1 extra row. Now, you would think that hitting the AutoSum button here would completely destroy all of my numbers, but Microsoft Excel is smarter than that. It adds the AutoSums all along the right-hand side and all along the bottom. Amazing. I think it's pretty cool that Microsoft thought far enough ahead to program that in. All right, let's scroll down again. You know that we've been using AutoSum to add sums, but what if we need to create an average, the average revenue per quarter? If I select this range, you'll notice that the AutoSum button is not just an AutoSum button, but there is a drop-down underneath the AutoSum button. Let's see what's under the drop-down. In addition to sum, we can auto-average, auto-count, auto-max, or auto-min. I'm going to choose average from the drop-down, and Excel will create average formulas instead of sum formulas. Okay, now I have one more AutoSum trick for you, but we have to go on to the next file. I'm going to use File Close to close this file. And then use File Open to open the AutoSum Tricks 2 file. Now in this case, we're going to create an AutoSum of just filtered records. If you've been using Excel for a while, you might know this as the autofilter function. In Excel 2007, it's now just called the filter function. Go to the Data ribbon and choose the Filter button. Excel adds a drop-down to every heading. For example, let's go to the Customer drop-down in E1, and we can choose to see the totals for just one particular customer. Initially, we see the totals for all customers. If you choose Select All, you can now choose a single customer. Scroll down through the list, and let's see the records for just Fabulous Sandal. Click OK, and Excel will filter the data set to show us just the matching records. Now here's where the AutoSum takes a really cool turn. If you put your cell pointer in the first blank cell underneath the data. So here in cell F565. And then go back to the formulas ribbon and use the AutoSum button. Instead of creating a sum function, like it did all the other times, it switches over and uses the subtotal function. The subtotals function has the fabulous effect of being able to ignore rows that are hidden because of a filter. Choose Control-Enter to accept this formula, and I'll copy to the right by dragging the fill handle. So you see that this customer had $41,614 of revenue. If I choose a different customer from the drop-down, I'll uncheck Fabulous Sandal and check Honest Flagpole, click OK. Excel automatically totals the new filtered records. We now have $62,744 of revenue. A great addition to the AutoSum is using AutoSum on filtered data sets in order to see just the totals of the filtered records. Okay, that's it for my AutoSum tricks. Let's close this file.